welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Virginia of Jupiter Arts Crafts, and I'm back and happy to share another Ruby and Pearl design team project for Ruby Tuesday. Today, I'm happy to share a real simple all-occasion greeting card slash gift card cash holder that we could create and use any time of the year, but especially handy this gift giving season. Before I get started, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're all doing well, especially this time of year. I say it's a real simple project, but the video's quite long again. I apologize. It's because I'm sharing a printing tip that I could explain best by actually showing it in the computer. Also, I'm sharing a few tips on how to kind of mass produce this if anyone would be inspired to do so like I did, as I'm using this as a Christmas uh, present for family and friends this year. There are many other ways to create simple greeting cards. Heather actually has a few videos making them. This is just my way of making two cards out of one 8.5 by 11 cardstock with minimal scrap. I'll start with the printing part, then proceed to kind of like a flip through of the images that I printed for this project, and making the card and a little bit of totally optional decorating later. I am in no way expert with computer use and technology. Just like this screen recording, I don't know how to do it before. I asked my daughter and Googled the actual steps on how to do it, and I figured it out. Also, I'm using a MacBook connected to an EcoTank printer. So I know you guys, some of you may have different printer, computer. So you probably are better at me in creating or printing this way that I am going to show you. As you've seen, I opened up my Ruby and Pearl.xo folder for all the digital kits, and for this particular demo, I'm using one print in the Rosie kit, which is this neutral brown sketch of rose that is so pretty. So I'm doing the printing now. I am printing in the landscape orientation, and I'm printing two copies of the image in one page. Now you see that there's a big border of white paper. I just click the fill entire paper and it fills up the entire page. Then I select how many copies of paper I'm going to print. With this type of images where there's no human or creature, it's so easy. Okay, it's okay to cut off part of the flower or the foliage, and it would still look so pretty in the print. Now I want to print something in the back of the paper, which will be the inside of the card, and I want to print something more of a plain background so that we have writing space. So I copy a part of the image, then copy it to the clipboard for the Mac setting, and then proceed on with printing the same way I did with the front image. Landscape, 2 copies per page, and then fill the entire page, and then load it up the way you're supposed to load your printer. I know my computer has a double-sided printing, but it's hard for me to figure it out. So this would print in the back of my paper. We could, of course, use Heather's background papers. She has those neutral basic vintage papers that would be nice as background. I feel like doing it this way makes it cohesive for this particular project. Now I'm showing another demo in a more sped up version. If you're having a hard time, just slow down the first version to get the steps. So I thought of this after selecting a few images from the different kits, which I'll use later. But the tags kit, she has tags 1 and tags 2. And just the tags kit alone has so many images that you don't have to search further. But of course, there's so many options with this. And I think this is kind of like my favorite. See how I did the one tag itself there? And then, okay, so I don't have to save it. I don't usually save it unless I fumbled with it because of a image. And then that little, I thought it was a washi tape that she collaged with the image. So I copied it the way I showed earlier. So highlighted the image. I did copy it and then save it to the clipboard in that images, and then print it landscape wise, two to a page, and then fill the entire paper. And it's a little blurry because it's magnified the image several times, but it's just so pretty in the inside of the card. So here are a few more cards. So you can have so many selection with the tags kit. This is just tag number 2, I believe. Moving on, I also created label stickers printed in a label sticker paper that has I think 30 to a page, but I just use a blank space, or I even did like those blurry leaf image in a few, which I wasn't able to do printer demo. And I didn't fumble with the size. I just filled the paper and it printed the image. Last printing demo, and this is with a collage sheet where I have to fumble a little bit because of the figures. So if I did just print the entire paper, fill the entire, the image of the kid with the lady will be cut off. So what I did is select, like what I was doing earlier with the back page, select the image so that just part of the collage will be printed. And then I go ahead, copy it to the clipboard. Okay, print it in landscape, fill it with the entire paper. So I have the whole image of, is that a boy or, yes, the title for the angel is cut off, but it's okay. It would be like a nice collage on the second one that I will show. So I made a second part with this image of the lady and the girl, and then it has the collage title of the joyous Noel. The poem was cut off, but it's okay also. So I did the same thing as I did in the very first demo, and then I have two different cards, I mean two different images from that one collage. By the way, the kit, the just demo is the new Christmas kit, her Christmas star. And it's got so many pretty Christmas images. And for the background, I used part of this image that I did the same thing as I have demonstrated before. So here are the prints that I came up with for this project, the select images that I printed. I got a couple of prints from the Angel kit. There are so many beautiful prints and images in that kit, but I have to limit myself because I'm making a variety of selection of cards for this project. So that's the background I chose. And here's the other one. And that those backgrounds came from that the first image that I showed. And then for the Christmas kit, or the images, the cards, I used the latest Christmas kit, which is the Christmas star. I had a project, the last project that I had, I used all her 4 Christmas kits. But I have a few images also because I prepared some of these cards before. I had to give out some Christmas presents like early in Thanksgiving. These are the 2 images that I showed in the demo. So I came up with 4 cards of 2 the same images. I chose one background for the Christmas to simplify my project. These are from a collage. These 2 are also from a collage sheet. And this one is, I just think I just printed it exactly the way I showed the first one. The next few ones are from the tags kit. So like what I said, there's gonna be, so this one I didn't put a background because I used a very pale blue cardstock to print those image. So it's not so visible, but it has a very pale blue paper. So there are so many things you could do with the tags kit, tag 1 and 2, and she has the Hello Pretty tags also. And of course, the wallpapers. You could like build a set of cards by color, a set of cards by theme. The possibilities are endless. This is from the Dressmaker, and this one is from the Viollete. I had a video of this, but I cut it off. See how pretty that background print that I printed inside the card. This one is from the William Morris kit, and that's the inside page that I printed using the same technique that I demonstrated. And this is the very first one that I showed in the demo. Look at how pretty those cards are. I'm sorry, this video is so long. Also for this, I added a couple of prints for my pack of presents from Maria of Jador Le Pepier. And then the others are from Danielle of Evelyn and Sage. They're both from our design team also. So moving on. These are the labels that I printed. So that's the plain label paper, and that's the one that I printed in the demo. And these are the other prints that I got from the Rosie Rose sketch. Then I have a few from the previous Christmas kits of Heather, and I picked that black and white background from this image. So now moving on with the card making, which is really simple. So basically you need the scissors, glue, and if you want to ink distress the edges, that. So I basically just cut the cardstock image into two. I used you could use the paper cutter, but I have an issue with linen papers. Every time I run the linen papers, linen cardstock in the paper trimmer, it gives a jagged edge. So I just use scissors. I have two long sheets of paper. So next thing is we're gonna corner round the one edge of the paper. We don't really need it doesn't have to be perfect. We don't need a guide. But since I made this, I have a little corner rounder. Next is I made a fold, which is gonna be an inside tuck or pocket, and then you fold the card the size you want. It can be a different size as mine. I think when I folded this, I came up with like a 4.25 by 4 inches, and you kind of also choose which side would be your opening flap and the pocket flap. So you could ink the edge. This is totally optional also, but I did it anyway. It kind of like give because the images are mostly like vintage images, so I kind of liked it. And then the inside flap, which is gonna be the smaller flap, which would be the tuck or pocket, you glue it. We glue it. I used the fabric tack to make it fast, and then just press it. And that's about it for the card. So simple, right? I'm showing how it fits a gift card which is a faux gift card. It's like a scrap cardboard that I use as a corner rounder. But and then you can attach the label, and that's where I'm gonna write the names of the person I'm giving the card to. Okay. Now, if you guys choose to mass produce it, like what I did, it would be helpful to have a corner rounder. That's kind of like a scrap from a piece of, the thick folder. I actually have a Ruby and Pearl, kind of like a gift card with different size corners that I use as a template. But I got it misplaced, so I have to grab something really quick, and that's really stiff. So just use the corner rounder for the all for rounding the edges of the flap, which mass producing it, I did it all this way. I did round the corners of everything. And once you have one card and you want to make it kind of like the same way, use that one card as a template and fold it over the folds that you made, so that in the end, if you're making several or multiple cards, it would end up kind of like the same size. So just use that one template to fold over every new card you're gonna make. So you're seeing that I am folding it, the crease with just my scissors. You could use a bone folder, but it's just faster that way. And I'm trimming quite a little bit of the edge, because since I manually cut it with scissors, it's not really even. But I'm sure if you use the paper cutter trimmer or the guillotine, it would you would have a straighter edge. So I think I have created all those Christmas prints maybe like in an hour and a half from start to finish. I have a sped up video, but I think I'm gonna delete it because the video is gonna be so long. So we're just gonna be repeating the same thing with all the cards. I'll probably cut a few segments where I could put in some tips on how to make it fast. But of course, we are all different in the ways we craft. So whatever works best for you, this is just the way that it worked for me. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Now that I have cut all the papers, I'm gonna be rounding them using the kind of like a rounder template. So, let's speed it up to the end. Then I have a little tip after I rounded everything. Now that I finished rounding the corners of the opening flap, I'm just rearranging it so that the rounded corners are all in the same direction. So I'm gonna ink it. And I just figured this out while I was recording this project, that I could ink several at a time. I think this must be at least like 28 cards. So just stack them together so that they're flat in one side, and I ink them. And then later on, when I did the rest of the all occasion ones that I showed in the kind of like the flip through, if you fan it out a little bit by bending it at an angle, it fans out, and you could actually be more precise with inking all the edges. Because with just this that I showed in the demo, there's a few parts that were missed, but it's okay even if it's not. But if you like bend it a little bit so it fans out a little bit with the clip on, it it opens up it's kind of like fan, just the way I said it, it fans out, so you have more exposure of the edges. So that's one other thing that helped me sped up. The rest of this, the ones that I have pre-made and packed with the rubber bands, I did ink them manually. I meant I inked them one at a time. I wished I had figured it out sooner so it would have been faster. Uh, but next time, if I do another mass production of same size papers or cards, this would help me speed up my work a bit more. And excuse my my inking is like falling apart because I'm using like a sponge, or I think it's a makeup sponge, and sometimes I use like foam from packaging. So I'll buy a proper one when I finished all those scraps. Next is the folding, kind of mass folding of the papers. So there you go. I like what I said earlier, I patterned it out in one template. So I fold it over the template. I actually wrote the word template on it so I won't mistake it with the other ones. And that also speeds up the process. And I have to trim it off because some of them are not even and kind of like touch up with the inking. Now that I am finished with the folding of all the cards, I did mass gluing, which I actually used the fabric tack in the video of all the Christmas ones, but I cut it off on the video. But I am inserting a clip of how I mass glued the cards using the Aline Stacky glue, because I know Fabri-Tac is not accessible to all places, and it's also quite pricier than just the regular glue that we would use. And that's what I did. I lined up everything with line of glue and then stick it together with bulldog clip until they are dry. Now all the cards are glued together. I am gonna be putting a little trim on some of them, not all of them. The ones that I am giving out as presents, I just left them plain, and then I'm including I packed 10 cards for each pack, and then I'm adding labels. I don't know if I have a clip of that in the video. So I'm adding a little trim and some of them. I know if you are a crafter, maybe most likely you are, that's why you're watching the video. You might have some like trims, ribbons, little laces that we could use to decorate it or trim it. And it also acts, it could also replace the label for a closure. Or I do have that clip where I'm showing that pack of labels. So I'll pick this one. I have this little kind of like a stiff ribbon trim. I'm not sure what it's called. So I cut a piece of it. I actually cut it in half because I thought it was a little too wide for the card. And then I glued it on the piece that's not glued yet. Maybe I did this before. I glued everything. So I'm showing in there how I glued it inside the flap. You could also wrap it around the pocket flap. I think I did some that way. So I used the tacky glue because it's a fabric, kind of a fabric material, and to speed up the drying process. And then glue the little pocket flap. And then once it's dry, I tuck in the flap closure and it's a little hard to tuck it in. So what I did is to make a crease. So with a bone folder and a ruler, I made I score it so that I could make a crease. Actually, I should have scored it before tucking it in. Would have been easier. And see how it slides easier with the crease. So I think I'm gonna be showing a few here that I did with different trims. And then some of the Christmas ones, I added some glass glitter to some of them, just a few of them, just to show. So like what I said, the decorations are totally optional. So here's a few that I added some of the glitter glues. These cards are so pretty, and just like what I was saying earlier, uh, so many options, so many with all her kits. I think all her kits, and also the printing. Um, I use that all the time with my projects. Like when I am printing, when I just like need one copy of an image and I don't want to print multiple copies of it, I size my paper and I kind of like what I did, isolate the image that I want printed, and then print just that particular image that I need for that particular image. I don't mind. I mean, I love all of Heather's kits, but sometimes what happens to me as a crafter is I save those extra prints and I lose it. I mean, I don't throw it away. I put it away and I can't remember where I place it. That's just me. I know people probably are more organized than me. So that's one way I kind of use some of my prints. So I think I managed to cut the video shorter than way shorter than it was originally was. So I'm finishing up with this. I think I have a little kind of like a flip of all the Christmas cards. Then I packed the all occasion non-Christmas ones, 10 cards a pack for a present. I packed some of them just by tying a gold ribbon around it and attaching a tag, and it doesn't need a wrapping because all of them are so pretty, and I'm gonna tuck them inside a cone bag that I have prepared. Um, and stuff it with a little extra goodies. And the rest, I packed them with the pink repurposed paper with the brown embossing that's on the side there, which I have a video from last year's Christmas DT project where I used repurposed paper for gift wrapping. But I accented this once with the print from this Christmas kit, the Christmas star. And I show a clip in the intro and here in the closing. I guess that's it for now. I hope you found some inspiration from this project, and thank you so much for staying with me through the end. If I hope you like the video, comment, subscribe, and share, and help me grow my channel. I do read all your comments and take note of it. I know I do have a few requests. Even if you're only one person who requested something, I'm gonna try working on it. It's just that, like what I said, I work full time, and I'm gonna be working on this projects one at a time. Okay. You have a wonderful Christmas. Have a Merry Christmas. If I don't see you in another video, I'll see you next year. Thank you. Have a good day.